You are a man of faith, Christian, and you are a man of science. What is the role of religion and of science in society and in the individual human mind and heart like yours?
Well, I was not a person of faith when I was growing up. I became a believer in my 20s, influenced as a medical student by a recognition that I hadn't really thought through the issues of what's the meaning of life, why are we all here, what happens when you die, is there a God? Science is not so helpful in answering those questions. So I had to look around in other places and ultimately came to my own conclusion that atheism, which is where I had been, was the least supportable of the choices because it was the assertion of a universal negative, which scientists aren't supposed to do. And agnosticism came as an attractive option, but felt a little bit like a cop-out. So I had to keep going, trying to figure out, why do believers actually believe this stuff? And came to realize it was all pretty compelling, that there's no proof. I can't prove to you or anybody else that God exists, but I can say it's pretty darn plausible. And ultimately, what kind of God is it caused me to search through various religions and see, well, what do people think about that? And to my surprise, encountered the person of Jesus Christ as unique in every possible way and answering a lot of the questions I couldn't otherwise answer. And somewhat kicking and screaming, I became a Christian, even though at the time, as a medical student already interested in genetics, people predicted my head would then explode because these were incompatible worldviews. They really have not been for me. I am so fortunate, I think, that in a given day, wrestling with an issue, it can have both the rigorous scientific component and it can have the spiritual component. I mean, COVID-19 is a great example. These vaccines are both an amazing scientific achievement and an answer to prayer. When I'm wrestling with vaccine hesitancy and trying to figure out what answers to come up with, I get so frustrated sometimes, and I'm comforted by reassurances that God is aware of that. I don't have to do this alone. So I know there are people like your friend Sam Harris who feel differently. Sam wrote a rather famous op-ed in the New York Times when I was nominated as the NIH director, saying, "This is a terrible mistake. You can't you can't have somebody who believes in God running the NIH. He's just going to completely ruin the place."